Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 7 of the F1 22 Haas Road to Glory. Yes, a bit of an apology, you know, we've been smashing through Season 1 of the My Team Career Mode. If you missed out on the finale that went live yesterday, would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But today though, we return with the Haas RTG. Going to try and integrate this series now, you know, sort of 2 or 3 times a week. Now, of course, we've completed Season 1 of the My Team series. So, you know, if you're new around here and you want to see more of the Haas Road to Glory, make sure you get yourself subscribed for daily F1 22 content. But of course, yeah, if you missed out on the last video from this series that went live from Spain, would highly recommend going back and checking out. But as we head to the Monaco Grand Prix this weekend, round 7 of the year, currently this is going to be the warmest day I think I've ever seen in the UK. So Monaco in the extreme heat, this one is going to be quite fun, I reckon. So yeah, we'll wait and see. You know, you can see my face now, and then we'll fast forward to the end of the video, and I'm probably just going to be an absolute slush pool in my chair. But yeah, quickly though, before we jump into it, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you guys for the insane and continued support on the channel. We've now ticked off 70,000 subscribers. We're making good progress towards 71k, and of course, yeah, the big goal of 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year just seems to be getting ever closer, step by step. So, you know, if you're not already and you do enjoy the content, please do consider clicking that subscribe button as well for daily Formula 1 content. But championship-wise then, currently still the battle rages on at the front of the field between the 2 Ferrari drivers and Max Verstappen. There, Charles Leclerc leads the way, 15 points clear of Carlos Sainz, and then 21 clear of Max Verstappen. We're still sat in P7 at the moment. Fernando Alonso's had a fantastic run of form to kickstart the year up in P5, and that's helped Alpine now build up a 12-point gap over Haas overall in the championship. But of course, Monaco, a bit of a wheel and wonderful circuit. We'll have to wait and see as to how we get on this weekend. Don't think, we're going to be close on a couple of engine components. I'm going to definitely need to put a new turbo in, and we'll put a new ICE in the car. Don't want to risk any penalties this weekend at the Monaco Grand Prix. But yeah, round 7 of the year then, let's get into it here for qualifying on the Monaco streets. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, the choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like. Right, well here we are then, qualifying day on the Monaco streets, as this Haas car feels very on edge. I have put all my eggs into the qualifying basket here, so we need to make sure we try and get a good qualifying lap in at least some point during the session. I think I'm running 44.50 wins, which is basically unheard of on F1 22. I don't know whether it's going to help or hinder us around the Monaco streets, but this Haas car, of course, as we found out last weekend at Barcelona, they're very good down the straights, not so good through the twisty bits. But yeah, we'll wait and see as to what we can muster up here as we head around this first qualifying lap. Just trying to keep it fairly clean and tidy so far. Don't want any big issues, as George Russell, of course, the man we're in a battle with in the championship at the moment, sets the pace on a 12.8. Let's see what we can do. Hamilton now down to an 11.6 there, so a lot quicker than his teammate as we're coming up towards Checo Perez at the end of our lap. What is his first time on the board going to be as we put the power down, activate the DRS at the final corner? For us, it's going to be a 12.7. So we split the mercs, but George Russell's time probably not a good representative. Let's see if we can find anything extra. Oh, wiggling our way out the final corner. I think we're going to, no, we're not even going to improve there at the end of our second run. Definitely a lot more pace to be had though. I reckon a high 11 is certainly on the table. Right, let's start our second run then. Down in P15 at the moment, so desperately need to improve. It's just about trying to get a good tidy lap in around these Monaco streets, you know, and sometimes that can take sort of 3 or 4 laps to dial it in. Of course, you don't want to do the opposite. Try and chase time too early on in the session and then rip a wheel off the wagon. As you can already see, they're 2 tenths up through Sector 1, and we definitely made a bit of a mistake down here last time round. Not a much better run. So we head through the hairpin, but yeah, still just trying to chase little bits of time here. Try and slowly bring the lap down, rather than expecting it all to arrive in one chunk. As the track is definitely getting faster here. You can see coming towards the end of my second run. 6 tenths up as we head through the final corner. Try and get on the throttle nice and tidily. We lose about a tenth out of the final turn, but that's going to bring us down to a 12.2. So we are definitely finding more pace here, and we'll see again. Of course, you can now do double runs on F122 because you don't have to worry about starting on the tyres, but I just don't think we've quite got enough ERS to make it work. Well, just 1 minute left on the clock then as we head out of the final corner. Gonna start our last qualifying lap then here from Monaco, and as you would expect, the gaps are incredibly tight here. We're about 2 tenths away from our teammate Mick Schumacher as we take a lot of curb through turn 1, but we just need to try and find that little bit more. Just unlock that little bit extra pace out of the car there as we attack the curbs at the top of the hill there. Try and roll the car down the other side. Got to get a little bit earlier. Oh no, that was far too early on the brakes through there as we rattle up against the wall. Luckily not picking up any damage from that one, and then a good chunk of curb through the hairpin. Chases us back a little bit of the time. It's all just about trying to dance your feet on the brakes and the throttle there, and you can see it's working. Another 3 tenths up as we head through the tunnel, but the second half of the lap, you've got to be absolutely on it there as we attack the curbs through the Nouvelle chicane. Try and put the power down on the exit, down 2 gears at the 50-metre board there as you try and open up the run through to back and into the next chicane. Going to try and leave it in 4th gear this time round. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle on the exit, but down in towards the final couple of corners then of this qualifying lap. Struggled to get the throttle down through Larascas, but out of Anthony Noakes, we are going to improve only by a couple of tenths though. Is that going to be a top 10? 16th? Everyone improved at the end of qualifying. That's been an absolute disaster. Well, there we go then. Carlos Sainz on pole at his teammate's home Grand Prix there. Both Mercedes separating him and Charles Leclerc there. Verstappen in 5th, Alonso up in P6 there, so he continues on his strong form there. And fair play, Mick Schumacher up in 7th place there. But I mean, look at how close it was down the order there. I mean, if we found another 4 tenths, we could have easily been up alongside Sergio Perez there. But just everyone improving right at the end of qualifying there. I said we could have got a high 11, and we weren't far away from that prediction, but not what we needed at the end of qualifying there. P16 we could be in for a very, very long Monaco Grand Prix. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super, super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That's how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1 mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher, Perez, Ocon, and Guan Yu Zhou. Norris, Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel and Tsunoda. Stroll, Mr. Monaco, Pierre Gasly and Valtteri Bottas. Latifi and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Why don't we discuss Red Bull? What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Right, well here we are then on the grid, ready for round 7 of the year for the Monaco Grand Prix. Fingers crossed we can just keep it clean and tidy today. If we can get a lucky, well-timed safety car, we might just be able to clutch up some points as well. But feel like, yeah, we could be in for a very, very long afternoon. Just, you know, I always knew Spain and Monaco were going to be two tracks that didn't suit the car, but Mick Schumacher absolutely delivering at the moment. Fingers crossed he can score some good points here today as well then. But yeah, of course we've got the formation lap first of all. Looks like there's a bit of diversity between people starting on mediums and hard tyres. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what we can do. Try and send it on lap 1 and see if we can try and get closer to those points. Right, well as Carlos Sainz lines up on the pole position then, of course, won his home Grand Prix last time out in Barcelona, but could he go one better? And, well, one better I think might be the wrong term there, but can he also win his teammates' home Grand Prix and really close up the gap in the Drivers' Championship? Need to get a lot of heat into the tyres here. If ever there was a track you wanted a good start, Monaco is probably the one. No!
Okay, that's not an ideal placement in your grid slot. You're going to need a good launch at the race starts.
Ready though on the grid here for the Monaco Grand Prix, waiting on those 5 red lights. And it is going to be a very long hold, but lights out and away we go. Just trying to avoid too much wheel spin there as we want to try and get to the inside on the run down towards turn 1. They'll be nice and aggressive up the inside of Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda, but just can't quite put the power down on the exit. They're still side by side with Tsunoda as we head up the hill on this first lap there. And can we try and get the nose back around the outside of Stroll? No, we'll think better of that one. So Tsunoda losing a couple of places then off the start on his hards there as Lance Stroll going for a big, big send down in towards the next corner. We're going to try and have a look up the inside of Sebastian Vettel, but look at that for Lance Stroll there, straight up into P12 of the Grand Prix. We're up to P14 then, so not a bad start for us either as we snake our way through the middle sector on this opening lap. The start was fine. We made up 2 spots there, Mark. We definitely one of the better starts I've had on F1 22, and wherever could you need one more than here at Monaco as we head down through the Nouvelle chicane on this opening lap. Daniel Ricciardo used to roam these streets, no idea what's happened to him now around here, but Sainz still leads the way though at the end of lap 1 there, as I'm going to guess it's still George Russell in P2 there, as I think it was Lando Norris, yeah, into the pits on the opening lap of this Grand Prix, so no idea what's happened to Lando then. Might have picked up a little bit of damage when Lance Stroll went for that overtake, so I'm going to P13 by the end of the opening lap there. Looks like our teammate Mick Schumacher has done pretty well as well there. Doesn't look like he's lost any positions at all. He might have even gained one when all is said and done there, but you can just see, yeah, got to try and settle down into a rhythm then early on here at Monaco. That is the key when you get to Sunday. Saturday is all about building up confidence and just, you know, getting that one absolute nailed lap in, or not, as the case was for us yesterday. And when you get into the race, it's all about settling down nice and comfortably as soon as you can. It will be quite interesting to see where Lando Norris can work himself back into in this Grand Prix. I guess the real question is whether he's going to have the 1 or 2 stop this afternoon, but still applying pressure to his Australian teammate as we head through lap 3. I guess, yeah, early on it's so difficult around Monaco because you just cannot sit behind the car in front for too long, otherwise you just start to overheat the tyres. Not such an issue with these 2022 cars, but we definitely still found it in the My Team career mode here as we head out of the final couple of turns. Yeah, just struggling a little bit to put the power down, but yeah, want to try and go on the offensive, but we've got to just, you know, play the long game. And we know this car's got a lot of power underneath it, but we are running so much aero here at Monaco. There's a lot of understeer there through Anthony Noakes. Just had no feeling through the wheel that time round, and just, yeah, through that final corner, the AI really do seem to be able to get the power down early on in this race. 6 seconds up the road to Mick already. But is Lance Stroll? I don't think he's quite forming a bottleneck just yet, but definitely not looking strong. Look at this though, it's only taken us 1 lap and we're all over the back of Daniel Ricciardo once again here in Monaco. Oh, wanted to try and see if we can muscle our way to the outside into La Rascasse there, but just not able to find anything that time round, as again rattling over the curves at the final corner there and just can't stay close enough to the Australian, who is still just about picking up the DRS off Lance in front. But yeah, I mean, we cannot sit behind him for too long doing this, as you just see there. Tyres really start to struggle. You burn through all your ERS. Pretty easy to try and save some back if you don't use it for a couple of laps, but still, yeah, such a fine balance. I guess the other good thing early on then here in Monaco is the fact, of course, Sebastian Vettel is not really applying pressure to myself particularly, so we are just kind of sat in a bit of comfortable land of just sort of enjoying trying to apply pressure to Daniel Ricciardo, but yeah, not really too worried if we lose a little bit of pace there. The gap does ebb and flow, of course, between the Australian, myself, and the German behind, but yeah, we're sitting pretty comfortable early on here. It's just a case of how much we want to look after the tyres, because, you know, this is Monaco. Strange tyre sort of choices can lead to success. But of course, it's all about just pitting as few times as possible. I'm wondering, you know, if we could take these to about lap 24, whether softs to the end could be doable, just then we got that pace advantage over the cars around us. Of course, that would also mean if the tyres do die, you can still often defend your position. I am now wondering when we're going to see other cars start boxing in this Grand Prix, you know, whether we're going to sort of see people coming in around lap 15 or so, because yeah, I'm really sort of looking at it going, this might not be impossible. Try and take these tyres to about lap 25, and then of course, yeah, just even if we've lost, say, a place or two through strategy, I mean, we probably won't even lose places, of course, because like Tsunoda, for example, they'll all come out behind him, and he's on hard tyres just trundling around, so yeah, it's all a little bit up in the air at the moment there as well. We do actually get the front wing alongside Daniel Ricciardo there. You can always tell when you've done that, because the AI try to give you room on the exit, when if they'd just gone on the throttle, you wouldn't be able to hang on alongside anyway. But yeah, I mean, we're sat at 30% wear at the moment. We've already seen before, say, Suzuka in the My Team career mode, just even when the tyres are running quite high on the wear, but they're not too much slower until you get sort of beyond 80%. But you can see Daniel Ricciardo, though, a little bit out of position, a little bit out of rhythm as we head in through the final few corners. But yeah, the AI on F122, often my favourite little party trick around Monaco was to try and outbrake round the outside at La Rascasse. They kind of get a bit confused and give you the room, but that's not really so doable on F122 because the AI just seems to be a lot more confident into that braking zone, and I don't know how other people are able to send it up the inside of the Rascasse. I've just never been able to find the room. Oh, we've got yellow flags out though. Someone's got issues up the road. Who is it going to be in this Grand Prix? I think it's George Russell out here in Monaco, so heartbreak for the Mercedes man, who was looking to try and jump me in the Drivers' World Championship, but not what Mercedes need at this early point still of the season. Been a couple of weekends, I think, since we saw their last mechanical failure, but goes to show just how reassuring that is that we say a couple of weekends rather than a couple of years. But George Russell out of the Monaco Grand Prix. Sadly, no safety car, but does now promote us up into 12th place there. As, yeah, I think we're getting close to the pit stop strategies for the other drivers. That's exactly what I want to hear. Mark just confirming no issues with tyre wear still at the moment, as if I do still want to extend this stint a lot further into the afternoon, then that's exactly what we're going to need. But yeah, just losing touch a little bit with Ricciardo at the moment, but we're trying to sort of play the longer game here in Monaco as well, just a little bit loose and lively as we head down the hill. But yeah, just very, very tricky just to sort of try and stay in the rhythm. Not due to the car or the tyres or anything like that, just due to the heat that's currently, yeah, just around me in the real world. I would not recommend this, you know. If we're still in the heat wave by the time you're watching this video, yeah, definitely F1 at Monaco. It's a lot of concentration. It's not quite the mood, but the things I'll do for content, as that was a horrible line down through the chicane there. Yeah, I don't think, if ever there's been a race on this channel that deserves a subscription, I think this has got to be right up there, surely. I think I just heard cars in the pit lane then, so we are seeing more cars in there. We got Ricciardo and Stroll now in as well. So we need to now really focus on trying to keep the pace consistent over these next few lap series. We're going to be out quite close to Fernando Alonso. Looks like we're comfortably out ahead of the Alpine. So that's reassuring then, but like I said, yeah, need to try and really focus on keeping the pace smooth and keeping the tyre life decent. And yeah, just sort of judging how much Alonso's taken out of me over the next few laps, as that is not going to help us immediately. That big kick of oversteer. There we go, Mick into the pit lane then. Quite surprised, to be honest, that Red Bull just haven't been on the pace this weekend. You know, Mercedes and Ferrari comfortably quicker there, and Checo, yeah, even getting out qualified by our teammate as well as Fernando Alonso. But where are we now going to re-emerge then in this Grand Prix? We're going to be up in the 5th place then. So Verstappen a little way up the road there, with Charles Leclerc now up into the podium places. But yeah, now we've got Fernando 2.5 seconds back. So I think if we can stay sort of a little way ahead of him by the time we pit in a few laps time, that'll be reassuring. And really at the moment our battle is actually more with Yuki Tsunoda here, who's sat just ahead of Perez and Mick. So I think Perez now has got the jump on our teammate rather sadly. But yeah, I mean, if we're still pulling away from Yuki, it of course means here, if those cars do close up to him, they're probably not taking much time out of me, as I think we're going to try and box a couple of laps earlier. I'm still sort of thinking end of 24 is where I'm gunning for, but that might mean second half of the race might get a little bit tight on the soft compound tyres. We'll wait and see. Right, well, the tyre warning light has just come on, and I think Fernando Alonso might just be getting a little bit annoyed that he's now stuck behind me. But I completely forgot, of course, Pierre Gasly as well, another man that started on the hard compound tyres. So both those Alpha Tauris hopefully helping me out quite a bit here as we head through the chicane. But looks like, yeah, still you got Stroll leading that gaggle of cars a bit further back. It is getting a little bit touch and go though. This strategy could either really work for me there as well. Lucky not to pick up damage there. Yeah, this strategy could either really work or really hinder us, but I mean, we've got to take the gamble. We aren't going to score points otherwise here. Oh, there we go. Perez now has got the jump on Tsunoda, so we're definitely getting towards the point in this race where we need to pit. I think Tsunoda's actually boxed, so that's why, obviously, Perez has got through. Oh, again, big wobble as we head down the hill, but yeah, definitely now we've got a box in this race if all those cars are starting to get unleashed behind. But yeah, Stroll, Ricciardo, Bottas and Seb, you can see them winding up the hill. Feel like it is still going to be quite close between us all, but I've got no idea whether they're all going to get the jump on me or not. Just going to confirm to the team we're going to box, and also just going to make sure whether we've just nicked the front wing slightly. It feels absolutely fine, so just want to make sure the team don't change that. Right, and then into the pits we must go. A little bit of a wobble there through Anthony Nogues. Sorry, through the Rascas even, I should say. Not going to have to navigate Anthony Nogues this time around, but you can see there is the Canadian of Lance Stroll winding his way through the middle sector there. We've got to make sure we actually focus on what we're doing. Purple on the pit entry. Please no tyre wear issues. Please no issues. 2.3. That's what we need. And we are going to be very close then on pit exit here. So make sure we get off the limiter. There goes Ricciardo. There goes Bottas. And we are going to lose the 1 spot to Valtteri then in this Grand Prix. But we're going to have much fresher and much quicker tyres over these next few laps. I think the goal has got to be sneak past these guys and then park the bus to the end, because I don't think we're going to be able to get anything more here. But if we can get back into the points, this gamble has absolutely paid off for me. I always forget when you have just pit on F1 22 just how off-putting it is actually, especially around a track like Monaco, that suddenly you've got all this extra grip there as well. Bottas aware of me on the offensive here as we head up through Anthony Nogues and Larascas. Can we try and get a good run on the exit of the corner there? We have got pretty decent throttle. And as we head back down towards turn 1 then. Oh, Bottas going really defensive there. Does not want to lose the place. But we might still be able to mount a challenge as we head up the hill to the inside of the fin. We're just about... Whoa, Bottas. Oh, he always knew the move was coming there. And Bottas really did not want to give us any room on the inside. It was a very touch and go kind of move in the end. But, I mean, you two have got a tango around Monaco if you want to make the overtakes happen. And that time round, I think we both sort of trod on each other's feet. But we are now up into P12 once again then on the Monaco streets. Next up, Danny Rick, the man we spent so long looking at the gearbox of early on in this race. Fingers crossed we won't have a repeat of that. All over the back now of Daniel Ricciardo. Once again, as you would expect, it has not taken us long to get to the back of the Australian, but can we try and make a move back down at turn 1? This time round, Ricciardo will give us the room that Bottas didn't. Make sure we give him room on the exit, the corner there, and that was a cheeky little send up the inside there. 12 to go now here in Monaco. We just got to be still careful on the tyres. You know, we can afford to take a little bit out of them to make the move, but once we've got past Stroll, I really just want to settle down for the final few laps of this Grand Prix. And then, yeah, just make sure we bring the tyres to the flag and pick up a well-earned point. And now all over the back of the Canadian here. He's been sat just inside the points ever since George Russell's mechanical failure. But are we about with our risky strategy to put an end to that potential points? As we head back down towards turn 1. Not the best run out of the final corner that time round. So we're just starting to get a little bit of wheel spin here. Might be just over pushing the tyres slightly. Sort of thinking maybe our best chance will be down actually in towards the hotel. Or sorry, the Nouvelle Chicane even, I should say. But still all over the back of Lance Stroll here. We just need one run past the Canadian because we know we've got extra grip at the moment. You can just see like Mansell versus Senna all the way back in 1992 here. But are we going to be able to try and make a move work on Sir Lance? Try and get... Oh, that was nice traction. Really got it hooked up that time around, and we are going to get gaining as we head through the tunnel there to the inside of Lance Stroll. Oh, we gave him a big squeeze there, but try and give him room on the exit the corner. And we're still going to be side by side off the exit of the chicane here, surely down into Tabat. Yeah, he backs out of that one. And now up into P10 then of the Monaco Grand Prix. 10 laps to go here. And now, like I said, we're just going to calm the pace down. We've got to all we can really sensibly do in this race. There's no point risking it, trying to push the close up to Zhou Guanyu up the road and potentially wrecking this set of tyres. We may as well. We started P16 here. We've worked our way up to P10. Let's just bring home the point. We are not pitting again, Jeff. Mark even, I should say. That's embarrassing. Into the final 7 laps then of this Grand Prix. The tyres are still not going to be particularly happy by the end. 13 seconds behind Mick, though, I don't think it's too bad when you consider the race we've had. But, yeah, just trying to keep Stroll at about the 1 second window behind us. Just going to make sure we're using battery down the straights, of course. It's effectively free time late on here at Monaco. But, yeah, often around here, you kind of come up with a strategy and then have to keep changing it around to make it work. I've been quite pleasantly surprised, you know, today. We just kind of went with the strategy I was hoping would work. Just kind of stuck with it, and it has paid off, because I really did and ah as the mediums were going off, whether it would be worth just trying to overcut on a set of hards there. But we stuck true to our guns, and it has paid off today. It doesn't happen often for me on the F1 games, but happy. Tyre conditions still looking good at the moment. But yeah, we're going to just nurse them home. I guess the other thing I found quite interesting late on in the afternoon here is the fact that, you know, we are still pulling away from Lance Stroll. I'm not trying to necessarily, but we're also losing time to Zhou Guanyu and Esteban Ocon further up the road there. So I think, yeah, it's quite clear just how much the Aston Martins struggle still in race trim. You know, the fact they're probably losing, you know, a good sort of half a second a lap to the guys in front. But, yeah, our tyres are starting to get towards unhappy territory. But still, you know, 3 laps to go here at Monaco. I'm still just so impressed with myself. This strategy has worked, as we've definitely picked up a little bit of front wing damage on the left-hand side. Could not tell you where that was in this Grand Prix, but yeah, we're just bringing it home. And yeah, like I said, Spain and Monaco, I always thought were going to be 2 horrible tracks for us. Spain, had things gone well, we could have just scraped a point or so. And Monaco, it looks like we're going to. So honestly, I'm going to take this as a dub.
5 seconds.
You know, the next run of tracks, Canada, Baku, are both really, hopefully, going to be tracks that suit our car. Well, about to start the final lap then of the Monaco Grand Prix. Safe to say we've taken both sets of tyres pretty much far as you would ever want to here on these streets. But looks like Carlos Sainz going to make it 2 in a row and win here the Monaco Grand Prix. The one, of course, that they all want to win, just like he managed... No, he didn't manage. It was Sergio Perez in real life, wasn't it? That's terrible. Terrible wheel knowledge from myself there. But Carlos Sainz, he's going to come through the final couple of corners, back-to-back race victories, and take more and more points out of Charles Leclerc's championship lead. Hamilton comes through for P2. They're ahead of the homeboy who gets his first ever podium on the Monaco streets there. Max Verstappen 4th, El Plan. Fernando Alonso 5th place there. He's getting another run of brilliant pace this season. You can't help but feel like Fernando Alonso in game is what you would kind of wanted from Fernando Alonso in real life in 2022 there. I think it is going to be Sergio Perez in P6 ahead of our teammate Mick Schumacher there. Very decent haul of points from him up in 7th there with Ocon, Zhou Guanyu, and then of course myself, as long as we don't do anything stupid, rounding out the top 10 here. But Lance Stroll all over my gearbox on the final lap of this Monaco Grand Prix, but surely there's going to be no open doors for him in towards the final couple of corners here. Just park the bus as we head through the final couple of turns here at the Monaco Grand Prix. We started P16, but we've worked our way up to the points by the end. We love to see that.
And that's the end of the race. See you in Parc Fermé.
That's it then for another nail-biting Monaco Grand Prix. We were on the edge of our seats the whole time, but they've come through to take a stunning victory. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. Let's see how the driver's standings have changed. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, there we are then, guys, the end of the Monaco Grand Prix there, and it is Carlos Sainz, the Spaniard, with yet another race victory there. Pole position, fastest lap, I'm pretty certain he led every lap of the afternoon. The perfect weekend for Carlos Sainz there. Hamilton P2, like we said, Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen then in P4 ahead of Alonso and Sergio Perez, with Mick, Ocon, Zhou Guanyu and myself getting driver of the day and rounding out the top 10. They're 2 tenths clear of Stroll at the checkered flag. Just Latifi, who got lapped, and then his old teammate George Russell, the only man who failed to make it to the checkered flag there. That means championship-wise, the gap at the top does come down rather dramatically. 4 points now, the gap between Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz there, with Verstappen now 24 points away. Hamilton still P4, ahead of Alonso, who stays ahead of Sergio Perez there. We're still 7th ahead of George Russell, but Mick Schumacher, yeah, with more good points on the board there, now leapfrogs his way ahead of Gasly, Bottas, and a whole heap of other cars there further down the order. Daniel Ricciardo still last in the championship with 1 solitary point there. Constructors-wise, though, Ferrari, a 77-point gap at the front of the field. We kind of lost a few points to Alpine, but gained a few Alfa Romeo there, so still pretty happy with the results at the moment, but no movement in the Constructors' Championship as well. But thank you all so much for watching this video. I apologise, yeah, that I've pretty much melted by the end of this one. By far and away, I think the toughest race I've done on F1 22 so far. But yeah, make sure you get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back tomorrow with the start of Season 2 of the My Team Career Mode. We'll be jumping into pre-season testing. You guys do not want to miss that. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.